Alrighty, folks. Sorry, I'm a little bit late getting started tonight. Usually I'm a few minutes early, but hey, it's 9 o'clock. To be honest, I really don't have anything to talk about. So I'm hoping you guys get busy in the chat here in a minute, because you guys have heard everything that's going on with Shake and Bake 2 or 3 weeks in a row now. So, all right, Jay, what's going on, buddy? So, like I said, y'all have heard what's going on with Shake and Bake. The same thing last for 2 weeks now. We're in a holding pattern until the 13th when we get the bigger injectors put in. We have the velocity stack and we get the car retuned with Dave on the 13th of September. So hopefully what I can do is turn it over to you guys in the chat to keep it going. If the chat doesn't get going, we'll try and think of a subject real quick to toss up there. So hopefully you guys will get me going here in a second. You know the deal, Jay. I only chat till 10, brother. And you're driving home from football practice. That's awesome, buddy. There we go. All right. Timothy, Curtis, Bruce, what's happening, folks? Curtis, thanks, man. I appreciate it, buddy. It's been a long, hard road to get here. Yeah, definitely enjoying that. That's to be honest, I'm a 50s, 60s kind of guy. The high 70s are great, but if it gets down to the lower 70s, that'd be awesome. And that's an indication of boost weather is coming soon. Ooh, a low of 58. That's awesome. Like I said, I'm probably a mid 50s to mid to high 60s guy. That's about the perfect weather for me. But yeah, that's getting to be good boost weather as long as the afternoon starts being 58 degrees. Curtis got a 2010 Dodge Challenger RT, just some mods. Not like yours, but I'm getting there. Yeah, be careful. Be careful copying Shake and Bake. I'm telling you. One, it's super expensive. And two, it's just you get into this deep. We've said it 1,000 times in the chat, and I've said it 1,000 times. Is once you get up above 700-800 rear wheel horsepower, stuff's gonna start breaking. Things is gonna start happening. A lot of the little tiny things are gonna get you, like boost leaks and vacuum leaks, and there's a lot to it once you get into this horsepower that a lot of people aren't gonna tell you, or they don't make it expressively clear that there's a lot of issues once you get into this level of horsepower. Jimmy 113, boy, that's hot. That's crazy hot. Tim, negative Ghost Rider. I hear you, buddy. Curtis. So you already know, man. Yeah. You gotta have backup parts to the backup parts. Yeah. Jimmy, you know the deal. You've been around the block once or twice. The trans, axles, diffs, belts, radiators, fans. There's always something, whether it's minor to major, there's always something going on. I hear you, Bruce. It takes those paychecks, man, to make stuff happen. Jay's got a whole garage full of parts. Yeah, once you get by those, I say that the simple bolt-ons, the couple $100 bolt-ons, the cold air intakes, and the intake manifolds, they're usually less than 1,000. Once you get past those bolt-ons, it's thousands. Tim's Tim's talking to Jay. You got four hot rods that don't share any parts. Wouldn't it make more sense to have four hot rods that you could share parts with? Nothing wrong with a little diversity, though. That's for sure. Jay, you do have some broken parts. That's true, Bruce. Jay does keep a hold of his stuff because you never know when you're gonna need it, man. You never know. I've hoarded enough stuff myself. We're gonna have once once I get a few things done, I'm gonna have a fire sale and just try and get rid of some of this stuff out of the garage in the back room, and I got car parts everywhere. But yeah, I'm definitely itching to get back to the track. It's killing me, killing me not to be at the track every weekend. But like I said, I think the last 2 weeks or so, just trying to be safe, make sure the cars, make sure I'm not pushing things over the limits again. Uh, try and take care of this setup until we kind of get it really figured out. Then maybe we'll start pushing it a little bit. But for now, I want to be cautious. Jimmy, do we really need these tires? Well, of course we do. All right, I gotta let Bean out. Hang on one sec. Coming in. Oh, dogs, man. Pain in the butt. Bean, you know what, Jimmy? And Jay, you know the deal, buddy. That's what it's all about, man. Salvaging what you can and utilizing it again. which Texas Speed camshaft do you recommend for 5.7 in daily use? You know, I don't know a lot about Texas Speed cams, and I haven't seen a whole lot about Texas Speed cams. But for a daily driver, I mean, the 270 was good with me. That did me really well when I was NA and I was daily driving the car a lot more than I am now. You know, the best thing, I'm going to be honest with you, there, I'm going to call you Phil. How about that? I would call Texas Speed, let them know what you want out of the car. You know, if you want a daily driver with great sound and not worried about performance so much, they'll give you a cam for that. You want a cam with a lot of low, they'll give you a cam for that. They want you a cam for performance, they'll give you a cam for that. It's really getting a cam designed for what you want to do, or you want to see what comes out of the car. But like I said, the 270 did great with me. This custom grind cam so far that I got from MMX, specifically designed for the setup, and it may be used in other MMX setups, but you know, I gave them what I wanted out of the car. The modifications I have done to the car, the future modifications I plan on doing with the car, so that way that cam is set up for the future as well. So it's really just sitting down, talking with whoever you want to go with, whether it's Texas Speed, HHP, MMX, Flying Ryan, whoever you want to buy your cam from. It's like I said, just talk to them, let them know what modifications you've done and what you want to do, so that way they can design the cam for the future, so you're not having to buy another cam later on down the road. And then they'll get you a cam for what you want. I do love the high ram, man. The high ram is pretty sweet. I'm not 100% sold on the tick intercooler. It works. Don't take it that way. It's just that it adds that extra 3 inches of height to the high ram. It's got to grow on me a little bit. Actually, once I get a cowl to cover all that up and pretty up the hood, get it painted, I think I'll be a lot better off. It's just I'm a ways off from doing that right now, but definitely love the high ram. Bruce, Jay can hear the train when your clutch is let out. Oh, okay. All right. You're asking Jay a question. I got you. Can hear my tranny when the clutch is out. Push it in and don't hear it. Bearing bad? Yeah, that's a good question for Jay, because I don't know. Phil, you're welcome, buddy. Like I said, all I can do is give you my opinion, and if I don't have an opinion on it, I'll let you know. Or if I don't have any experience with it, I'll let you know. But there you go. Crane. All right, Jimmy Crane. All right, Jay's talking back to Bruce. Timothy's laughing at me. Jay's talking back to Bruce some more. Yeah, actually, MMX uses cam motion now. Matter of fact, Mac is actually using, I believe he's using cam motion now as well, because comp cams are so backed up. Yeah, Bruce wants that G-Force. Those G-Forces are expensive though. Woo! Got to save up for them bad boys. Yeah, Jimmy, we kind of took our time with the hood. I mean, it was 1 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning when we started on the when we started on the hood. So at that point we're looking at trying to get things done, but yet make it look at least halfway decent. And then when I got the door guard protector stuff and wrapped it around the inside, it looks a lot better. But eventually, like I said, we're gonna get a cowl to go over top of that, take it to the body shop, get them to smooth all that stuff in. I think what I'm gonna do is get the hood flat black along with the roof flat black, and then the trunk lid also flat black. So it looks kind of cohesive. Vice having a fully black hood, and then the stripes going the shaker stripes going back across the rest of it. And all right, buddy, you made a pass, an old girl, huh? You know your car is spicy. Your car's been spicy. It's just gotta. It's just you're gonna be running some times now, no doubt about it. All right, Indigo, lay down. Hang on, I gotta go close the door. Lay down. You guys are in for the duration. Hey, you two behave. Bean, stop. Dogs, man, they're worse than kids sometimes. You demand puppies in the chat. Bean hates to be picked up. Let me see if I can get him. Come here, buddy. Come here just for a minute. Everybody wants to see him. There he is. Bean, look at everybody in the chat. Look up here. Look at him. Check him out. I know you want down there. Yeah, you know the deal. He hates to be held. For whatever reason, he doesn't like to be he doesn't like to be picked up. Oh god, now they're behind me playing. All right, Jim. So there we go. We at least had Bean on the camera. The last time I tried to take the camera off and show you the dogs, it went blank on me and messed up the whole messed up the whole chat. And so you install 1650s. Make sure you pair them across from equally strong injectors, and I would put the strongest in the back as they're fighting for the most fuel. That makes sense. That makes sense to me. So yeah, we'll play around with them, man. We'll figure out which ones are which, and we'll make sure we get them in there right. Oh man, I lost my chat. What happened to my chat? All right, I got YouTube back up, so it looks like we're still going. I'm not sure what happened to my chat though. Oh gosh, now I got everything screwed up. And not sure what happened there. I'll have to follow chat here on YouTube. All right, gotcha, Ed. With with all my mods, I got 71, 79 Edelbrock intake manifold with fuel rail, running 392 cam. Yeah. Hey, Jay Green's great, man. He was an awesome tuner. It just got to the point where I felt that I needed to hit the dyno to get a dyno tune. Yeah, and I'll look at them because I haven't even opened them up yet. They're still wrapped in the plastic because I didn't take them with me the last time. I am Jimmy. So I don't know if you were in the last couple chats, but the 1050s are at like 96% on the big end, and they were low 90s, and this is with a velocity stack on there, and they were like low 90s at the shift points. So it's definitely time for much bigger injectors. So they're not paired. What Ant's talking about is pairing the best the best flowing injectors and put them in the back. Yo, going 392 cam in your 5.7. Hey, there's people that make pretty good power with the 392 cams, and you can get them fairly cheap too. So they're like $300, $400 cheaper than other grind cams. So nothing wrong with that. You can do the typical bolt-on stuff. So you can do so you got the cam. You can do long tube headers, catback exhaust. You can do intake manifold. You can go do a 392 intake manifold. You can do a cold air intake, though I'm not 100% sold on cold air intakes. But you could do a cold air intake, and yeah, that's your bolt-ons right there, Jake. So, if you want to stay NA, that's a pretty good setup. That's true. If you want to go boost, go straight for a root blower if you want to. You know it, Jimmy. Boost is life. I remember the days when I was like, I'm always going to be NA. I'm never going to go boost. And I went boost and never looked back. Yeah, Curtis, like I said, as long as you're NA with Jay, you're fine. It's just when you get into boost, it's a little more difficult, the email and tune back and forth. And you know the deal. There's hot days and cold days and good days and bad days. It's just, yeah, when I got to the point in boost where we were having issues getting it dialed in, I was like, all right, it's time for me to just move to a dyno tune. You're running 1440s with a velocity, so you got lots, and that's the intent, was to give me a lot of room. All right, Bruce. Hey, no problem. Hey, I'm learning too. I didn't realize that the injectors had that either until Ant just said it a minute ago. So, Eric, you didn't miss a whole lot. I'm not recapping Shake and Bake all over again. Just I'm just going down the chat. So if you want to go up and read down the chat real quick, you'll catch up. Mac Nova, NA build, long tubes, 87 throttle body, 180 T-stat, 15% underdrive. As the other mods you would recommend besides a cam for an NA setup. other than a cam, man, you're pretty well set. I mean, you could do a catback exhaust. You could go for a Corsa or a Borla. I love the Borla ATAC. Hey, that's enough. Go lay down. Dogs again. Jay, you bring up a great point. So if you track the car a lot, Nova, a converter uh, will definitely help you off the line, 100%, no doubt. Yep, Bruce, that's what we're talking about. You got it, buddy. So yeah, so Jake Nova Jay come up with a good one. The converter. Also, you do the 6.4 manifold. The intake 6.4 intake manifold is also a great mod too. That'll give you power across the curve and torque across the entire curve. So that's another good one. Jimmy, yeah, Jay is running the hair dryers. That's for sure. Long ball questions. Did you use a phase limiter on the 6.1? So I've never had a 6.1 cam. I have a 6.1 crank. So my cam is a custom grind cam from MMX, and they said to use a phase limiter instead of a locker. So we used a phase limiter on my cam. Jay, it's party time. Them 72s on, buddy. Whew. Yeah, we'd be definitely a good race then, no doubt. Ant man, calling us out left and right. Jay, we're gonna have to crank it up, man. No problem, buddy. That's what the chat's for, man. I love answering questions the best I can, and you got a lot of guys in here that's got a lot of experience with a lot of different things. You got shit my Hellcat says. You got Jay. You got Jimmy's in here. We got wide body Mike sometimes. There's a lot of people with a whole lot more experience or knowledge than I got. So that's why I love keeping the chat open. Jay, Jay says he gets his 6.4 put together before you sell your cat. It's on. It's on. Okay, if you got the MagnaFlow mufflers, yeah, that's fine. As long as they're a straight through muffler, you can see straight through them. You don't necessarily have to get a cat back. My Borla is the 2 3/4 inch from the cat's back. So yeah. And it says get in line. Okay, so Eric, you did mean the 6.1 cam. The 6.1 cam won't work in a VVT engine. So I don't know what year you got again, but I think you have a earlier or a earlier model, a newer model. So 6.1 cam is not going to work for you. Now the 6.1 crank will work for you because it's the same stroke. It's just a forged crank versus just a regular crank. No, excuse me. Yes, and that may be very well true. I'm not really sure, but that's we. Mike and I called MMX, and they said use a phase limiter. So that's what we did. Eric says sorry, I had it backwards. Perfect. Oh man, John's talking to you about nitrous. Oh, why are you going to put nitrous in the car if you're selling it, Ant? I don't know where Mike's at. He's usually a staple here in the chat, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure where he's at. Okay, you got a pre-Eagle 5.7. All right. Hey, I got my Comp Cam 270. Anybody wants the Comp Cam 270? I got it. But it is a VVT cam though. All right, Jay and Bruce going back and forth. You need to sell it while it's super fast. I hear you, Ed. Okay, I got you, Eric. Okay. Yeah, the 6.1 intake is a proven intake, especially if you go boost. That intake manifold is a good one, and the crank, like I said, I put a 6.1 crank in mine. Z, what's going on, brother? What's happening? Z's in the chat. Watch out. another fast guy. Another fast guy in the chat. All right, Bruce, have a good one, buddy. Thanks for chiming in. I appreciate you hanging in the chat. Really do. See, I don't. It must be because I'm on YouTube and I got my name banner on the front windshield. I don't ever get anyone coming up trying me. I don't know what it is. And when I do, if I have the windows down, they're like, I see the tires you got in the back of that car. I'm not going to try you. Z, I appreciate it, brother, man. Aunt left him like his dad 20 years ago. That's pretty funny. Hey, I'm just a 5'7". A true 5'7". A true built 5'7". Not a 5'7" base stroker this, stroker that. 5'7", baby. How's the RT Life quarter mile and mods, man? For me, so I'm hoping you're talking about me instead of RT Life himself, but I'll give you a shout out to him too. But man, the car's running great. Car's running crazy. We're out there running nines. But like I said, if you've seen the Instagram and was in the last 2 weeks, we're taking a time out from racing until I get retuned. We get the 1650 injectors and the velocity stack and get the car retuned. Because those 1050s are like, I've had enough. I can't take no more. I can't push no more. I'm tapping out. I'm tapping. But yeah, everything's been going great. Um, SRT Hellcat, appreciate you asking the question, man. For RT Life, he's supposedly, the last time I talked to him a couple weeks ago, he said like middle of August he was supposed to get the charger back. So I may have to call him and find out what's going on. And Curtis, I think they're only looks, buddy. I hate to say it, but because they're fairly expensive. And the only reason I got them is because I thought my coil packs were going bad, but turns out that they probably weren't because the car acted this pretty much the same with the rip coil packs in there. I know they have dyno out there that's saying they make power, but I don't. It's one of those that my butt dyno, it doesn't even show up on my butt dyno. So yeah, they do look nice. The orange, the orange rip super, the coil packs, they do look nice. I give you that. Yeah, Jay, that's kind of what I was saying. They look good, but performance wise, I don't think you're going to see anything. All right, SRT Hellcat, I got you, buddy. Yeah, we're going Z. We're going triples. Come over the winter once I save once I save up and pay off a few of these bills I have from the build. That's my intent is to go triples. All right, G's talking back to Eric. Ant's talking to Z. He'll be out on Friday. Yeah, Jimmy, I'm moving to the triples too. So it's just I gotta save up a tab for it. Yeah, Curtis, like Jay said, if you like the look, they are per, for performance coil packs. They're on the cheaper end. So yeah, but if you're not having any problem with spark, I wouldn't worry about coil packs unless you want to. All right, Ant's talking back to Jimmy. Yeah, unless you see misfires. That's Jay. You keep taking words and basically putting them in my mouth. Yeah, yeah, Jimmy. I like. Hey, the four dual pump system has been working for me great too, man. And it's a nice system for sure. And what I like about the dual pump is you can send it back to them and they'll add the triple pump for a couple $100. Yeah, I don't think I'm having a problem with fuel pressure. It's fuel injector. That's where my problem is at. Gotcha, Eric. Yeah, yeah. The coil packs. Yeah, if you just want that, if you want the color, yeah, go for whatever color you want. Hellcat Hemi. What are my thoughts of the 5.7 compared to 392? They're two different engines. They're in two different categories. Um, and bottom line, it's what you can afford and once you want what you want versus what you need. Um, I mean, and you can modify both of them. The 392s, arguably, the modifications have a lesser degree of horsepower increase, but you can do the same thing to the 392 that you do to the 5.7. Cam, long tube headers, intake, not the intake, but the cold air intake, catback exhaust. You can put a blower on a 392. You just got to keep it below 8 pounds, 8 pounds of boost, and until you do some drop-ins, drop-in pistons. But I don't want to say as you go up in trim level, it's easier to modify, but and the old adage, there's no replacement for displacement other than more boost. But yeah, I mean, from a 392, arguably you can make more power out of less boost, right? I get it, but yeah, I think the 5.7 is a great platform. There's a lot of people that crap on the 5.7 platform, but there's nothing wrong with modifying a 5.7, and there's nothing wrong with buying a Hellcat or a Red Eye or whatever. Buy what you want, or what you know what I mean. It's buy what you want, and if you want to modify it, go ahead and modify it. But they're all of the Hemi platforms are good engines to start with. I have a video falling brand new out of the box. Yeah, the L4 is legit. I ran a BAP then duals. My brother is just run triples, buy once, cry once. Yeah, 100%. I wish I'd have went triples way back when. But the dual setup was expensive enough. It was expensive enough. But what's nice about 4 and buying a double, you can send it back for a couple $100 and make it a triple. So that's kind of cool. Z, I think it's going to be honest, I think it's a given, especially when we made 876 at 6,800 without the velocity stack, and just me looking at the logs, the velocity stack is adding roughly 1.5 pounds, almost 2 pounds of boost. So you get 30, 40 per pound, 30, 40 horsepower per pounds of boost. So I'm looking at 910, 920 maybe. So I think it's going to make over 900. And middle of September, the weather is going to be a lot better than it was back in, when did I do it? July. so it'll be a lot better. All right, Jimmy, I'll take a look at it after this. A whole kit for 2K. That's not bad for a triple pump. I'm not hating on strokers, right? Hey, if you want to stroke your car out, stroke your car out. That's all fine and dandy. But don't claim your car is an RT, right? So, I love HHP. HHP is great, but they throw a video up there, RT 900 plus horsepower, and then you read the modifications, it's a 392 transplant. Arguably, the 392s are an RT as well, but usually people equate the RT to the 5.7. So come on. It's like that Instagram post that Mike put in the IG chat. It's a 5.7 base 381 or 383 stroker. You can't compare that to a 5.7, right? It's almost apples and oranges, right? Anyway, I'm not saying that the strokers don't work. I'm just saying those people that stroke their stuff out and still call their car a 5.7, that's doing a disjustice to a lot of people that may not understand what's going on. Curtis, P300 code. Yeah, it could. That, yeah, 300 could be the cold packs. Ant says he just went with more boost. 100%. But what you can afford, exactly. That's. I say that all the time. Z. It's like get what you want and get what you can afford. Right. You just got to make sure what you want is what you can afford. Right. Yeah, Curtis, you can't go wrong with MSD ones either. I mean, yeah, and Ant's saying it too. The stock Dodge coils are perfectly fine for a lot of horsepower. So it's again personal preference. If you want red ones, if you want orange ones, if you want black ones, pick a color and go pay for it. If that's what you want, go for it. Yeah, I was well over 700 horsepower on the stock coil packs before I got the rip ones. So so Curtis, nothing wrong going with the stock ones. But like I said, if you want a different color one, you're gonna have to pay for it. But and sometimes you pay for the name MSD. But yeah, all in what you want to do, man. Yeah, it's just when you stroke the car out, especially if you go, in that 380 and above range, you're no longer a 5.7, right? You're in that 5.8, 5.9, 6.1, 6.2. You're in that you're in a different category, right? You're changing the displacement. So to call a 380, a 381, or a 383 stroker a 5.7 is just an injustice to some people that don't understand that a 383 is not a 5.7, isn't 5.7, right? Um, and I'm not down in the strokers. The strokers are great engines. 383, 392, 5.7, 392 stroked out. They're great engines, no doubt about it. That's not what I'm arguing. What I'm arguing is if you stroke it out to pass the 5.7 moniker, which is right around what 350. I think they still call 350s 5.7s. But if you stroke out to 392, you can't truly call that car a 5.7 anymore. You can't call it. Arguably, you can't call it an RT because everyone equates RTs to 5.7s, even though 392s are RTs as well. But everyone always equates RTs to 5.7s. But anyway, but if you stroke it out past the 5.7 range, you're no longer a five. That's my point. You're no longer a 5.7. Yeah, Timothy, you see what I'm saying? 392 to 398, you still might be in that 6.4. Jimmy. Obviously, we'd have to do the math, right? But you could still be in that 6.4 moniker with a 398. Okay, you could still call your car a 6.4. But if it's like a 6.5 or above, that's my point. Hopefully, I'm getting it across. But yeah, I get it. There's strokers from a 5.7 stock block, but they're no longer the 5.7, the 345. They're larger displacement than what they were before when you stroke the car out. So it's no, my point is, it doesn't matter what block you start with. It's how many cc's your engine is utilizing, right? That hopefully now that gets my point. I'm off my soapbox. Eric, yeah, definitely paying for a name and a color, no doubt. Let's see, let's get another one going here. Let's get this one going. What's going on, Jay? Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Ant. Don't don't just say you're a 5.7 and you stroke the car out to a 392. Really? Yeah, call it a 392 6.4 stroker, right? Or call it a 5.7. I wouldn't. I would call it for what it is, right? If it's a 5.8, 5.9, 6.0, 6.1, call it what it is. Call it what you stroked it out to. Don't call it a 5.7 stroker, because then a 5.7 stroker doesn't make sense to me, right? If you're stroked out, then you're not a 5.7. That's kind of my point. So Dutchman, what I would do is go back to your engine builder who stroked out your engine and say, all right, how many cc's is this? And then you can take that number of cc's, turn it into liters, and if it's still within the 5.7, which mine's a 340. I think, Jay, we go back and forth, 348, 349. That's still within the 5.7 moniker, right? So if you're a 392, you're a 6.4. Say you go, I'm just being facetious because I don't know the numbers. If you say you stroke it out to a 395, you could still be a 6. You could still call the car a 6.4 because it's still within that liter. Does that make sense? No, I would say your car is arguably an RT. It's still a 5.7. Yeah, I mean it's still a 5.7. So yeah, you can call it an RT as long as you're equating RT to a 5.7. Jay, your engine is a 5.7. But if you stroke your 5.7 to a 383 or a 392, you're not a 5.7 anymore. Especially if you do it to a 392, now you're a 6.4. Does that kind of make sense? So call it a 426 stroker. That's what everybody, you know what I mean? I would just call it a 426 stroker. If that's what you stroked it out to, call it a 426 stroker. And that immediately tells me that, okay, it's a 426, so it's probably a stroked out 392. Yeah, see, Jimmy, I would call your car a 6.5 stroker. Like RT Life, he calls his car a 397 stroker. And then everyone asks him, are you sure you got that right? Are you sure you don't have a 392? but that's my point. I'm just saying, call your car what it is. Don't Don't try and make it sound like a 5.7 when it's not. Don't make it sound like a 6.4 when it's not. Don't make it sound like a 6.2 when it's not. Right? Because once you increase the combustion chamber, it's a different motor now. Of course, a stroked out 5.7 is going to make more power than a 5.7 with the same modifications. That's why people stroke them out, to make more power. So that's kind of my point. I keep saying I'm getting off my soapbox, but I'm getting off my soapbox. Yeah, Jay, I'm talking strictly about the engine now. You know, when is an RT not an RT anymore? Is it when you add boost to it because it's not a stock boosted car? When is a 392 not a 392 anymore? When is a Hellcat not a Hellcat anymore? I mean, as long as you're running a 6.2 block, can you still call the car a Hellcat? You know, if you got a Whipple supercharger or twin turbos or another type of forced induction or a Pro Charger, yeah, that's a whole different conversation on yeah. Yeah, I'm with you, Jay. Right? How far you stroke out a 5.7 or a stroke a 3.9? Well, you know what I mean? How far you stroke it out, that's all up to you. But I'm just saying, you know, if you stroke it out to a 370, call it a 370. Yeah, Timothy. For the most part that's true. Swap the 5.7 for a 392 stroked out to a 426. So Dutchman, I would call your car a 426 stroker. That's gonna tell everybody you either used a 6.4 block or a 6.2 block and stroked it out to a 426. Yeah, Jimmy. Like I said, when RT Life started talking about 397, people looked at him funny too. But that's yeah. Yeah, we've talked about boosting a 426 before many times, and it's because of the rod angle. Uh, with boosting a 426, that rod angle is super sharp and not conducive to boost. Though there's a lot of people that boost 426s. Don't get me wrong, but it's probably not the best stroker to boost. It's got a Gen 5 3-liter Whipple. Be careful with that Whipple, man. There's been a lot of problems with those Gen 5 3-liter Whipples. But Jimmy's got the Whipple life. I got you, brother. Yeah, the 6.1 blocks too. You're right, Jay. All right. So we're right at 10 o'clock. I'm going to get these last couple of chats here, and we're going to call it a night. Not sure the name of those blocks. BG Live. Technically, any stroke motor is based off the factory block. Cubic inch, 345, 5.7, increase 376. 6.2 would be a stroked 5.7. The RT is just a trim package. Yeah, Z, you're preaching to the choir there. I've talked about the RT moniker several times as well. I think I've talked about it in a few videos, right? Scat packs are RTs too. Look at the front freaking bumper. They got a big RT badge right there. but typically people associate RT with 5.7, Scat Pack with the 6.4s. But it, but I get your point, Z. Okay, call it a 5.7 stroker, 5.7 376 stroker or something, right? Don't call it a 5.7 because it's not 5.7 anymore. It's 376 6.2. I'm not so much worried about the RT moniker. That's not a big deal to me. What gets me is people uh, put crazy numbers up there, but it's a transplanted 6.4 or it's a transplanted Hellcat motor or it's stroked out to whatever, you name it, and it's not a true 5.7, not a true 5.7 anymore. Even though it's based on a 5.7 block, I get it. But trying to compare a stroked out I'll even call it a stroked out 5.7, comparing that to my car with the same boost and the same modifications, it's apples and oranges because you have a bigger displacement. Of course, you're going to make more power. But all right. I'm trying to get off my soapbox. All right, we're actually 10:02. I'm going to go ahead and cut it off. I'm going to go ahead and cut it off before I get too crazy. But I love all you guys. I appreciate y'all coming into the chat. I appreciate y'all watching the videos, watching those ads. I know those ads are painful, but I appreciate it. And Shake and Bake appreciates it because everything from YouTube goes right back into Shake and Bake. I definitely appreciate everyone. I really, really do. I wish there was a better way to express it. But you guys are the folks that keep me going, keep me wanting to do this, keeping me wanting to do the chat every week, keeping me motivated to go to the track and do modifications and giving y'all what y'all want. But that's it for this one, folks. Until next time, adios.